So I've circled the mountain for a couple minutes, but let's get back to what I felt like had to happen next. So I said all of that about maybe, other kids don't have me as a parent, but I also feel like one of my um responsibilities for being the type of person that I am is that you have to bring light to where there are deficiencies and or abuses, and I did feel like this was an abuse of power, and I feel like there were deficiencies because you are a B grade school, but you don't have enough certified teachers in your school. That's a problem. Like why was there not a certified teacher in that classroom from what was that, September the 13th, or September the somewhere around September the 13th until the day we left and went over to the new school and found out that one of the other parents' kids is in that same class. And so it's just like that class is just running, what at the time was just running with no certified teacher with a class full of kids. Like that's a problem. And it's especially a problem to have a kid who's having certain disturbances, in the class with somebody who's not equipped to handle them. And but I decided to go ahead and file a complaint, or to at least tell my story. And so I got my computer and just started typing up the narrative, the starting from what happened bef- at the end of the last complaint that I had sent the school board. And so I just started typing it up. I didn't know who I was sending it to, but I knew I had to get the story down so that I could put things in order and gather my documentation for it. And so um talk with an uncle of mine. He's been in the a school system since I was really small in another city in Alexandria, not in Alexandria, in Louisiana. And he told me, he informed me, he said, you need to send this to the Bessie board, is what it's called. It's the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. And so that's what I did. I sent it to uh I sent it to all of the supervisors at our school board, but I also sent it to the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. I sent it to the Office of Civil Rights because I came to find out that him not being fed was a violation of his civil rights. And that even if she had suspended him and I didn't come pick him up until 3 o'clock that evening, he was supposed to have still eaten breakfast and lunch. That it was a USDA violation. So the I sent a complaint, formal complaint to the USDA. Um, and I said, like I said, I sent it to the school board and the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education. So, as much as people like to think that I am, I'm not a confrontational person. I'm not. I'm not a person who likes complaining. I would just rather it just blow past if we can, but sometimes we can't. And so, like, I'm sitting on my couch, I'm off, and I am now overthinking. I am now compulsively thinking about this in a way that it's harming me. It's causing me, anxiety. Like, my kid is at a new school now, and he's getting some grace. He's still having some of the same problems. So but at the same time, there's a level of patience, and I'm sure that part of that level of patience is like at the homeschool, they just got to deal with him. Like, they can't pencil whip him out of the homeschool. But I'm sitting on the couch and I'm thinking, like, it's kind of now or never. Like, you've got this typed up, you've got documentation attached, you've got more documentation if they need it. You've explained to them how who your child is and how he's been emotionally affected, and now you need to press send. And so that was on a Friday, the Friday before Thanksgiving holidays. And I got some responses the next day on Saturday. And I was assured that they would attend to it when they came back from the Thanksgiving holidays. And so I got a an email Monday or Tuesday right after the Thanksgiving holiday saying that they were going to go look into it or whatever, whatever. And what I'm grateful that they did, because one of my asks was I want his suspensions reversed. And so they changed his suspensions to, just infractions, which I would have been happy for them to take it all off. I just feel like a 5-year old's behavior, unless a 5-year old is harming people or harming themselves, I don't see where it does them any good to document this, especially when you're not following the behavior intervention plan. The behavior intervention plan is not being followed. So it's not like he's just bucking you, like you're not doing anything to help him improve, when there is a document on file saying that this should help him. The first, she said, this should help him have longer good times and shorter bad times until we drive this behavior out. And um so they did. I was appreciative of them erasing the suspensions. I mean, they should have never happened, but I was appreciative of them being fair, is what I think that they were doing. But I also, I don't feel heard right now, because as a parent, I feel like I was very disrespected. I feel like my child was I feel like my child was abused. I feel like my child was not regarded. I feel like he was denied resources, because the other side of that was that when he got suspended, um that when he got kicked out of school, that Wednesday, number one, I was supposed to be coming the very next day to see what was going on in the other teacher's class. And also the following Thursday was when we were supposed to have the meeting to sign, for me to sign permissions about his evaluation. And we didn't get to do that. We only got to we got to do that at the new school, which was a very calm meeting. And they basically told me we have no concerns for his academics. We pretty much have concerns for his behavior. We're not here to see what you can do for him. We're here to see what we can do for him with your help. I appreciated that, because fast forward to last week, now I have a laundry list of accommodations for a child who has a developmental delay that is causing that's affecting his social skills, because he is smart, he's very smart, but being intellectual is not the only type of smart. A kid can be just as smart as they want to be, and if they, a snarky asshole, nobody's going to like them, and you're not going to be able to hold a job, or you're never going to have friends, because you don't know how to talk to people. And sometimes, those skills need to be coached. Everything doesn't come natural, you know so at this point, where we are is we're just working the process now. We're still in therapy. We're waiting on private occupational therapy. We're also waiting for private testing with the psychology to see if he's on the spectrum, or what. But we're also, he has a wonderful teacher at his new school, and I don't know her very well. I just know how he responds to her, and I appreciate her having the patience that she has with him. And I also appreciate that she understands. I understand as a parent that when he does something that needs correcting, he has to be corrected. But she also understands that I know I have to correct him, but I also understand that there are some things that he can't help. She's not just painting him out to be a bad kid. It's He's disruptive. And disruptive is not saying you're bad, it's saying you're disrupting the class. Next part, we almost done.